important thing to fix the economy is to avoid lofty spending and doing unnecessary projects. It is really to focus on a few things that are important to the people of Kenya. The health sector, the education sector, fixing our roads, water for irrigation, making sure that people are secure, and avoiding a lot of projects that are not necessarily like the affordable housing. And once you agree that you want to address the basics, you will have to cut down on the taxation so that you don't have to overtax the people. And the people of Kenya are good people and they are willing to pay taxes. But they also want to see their taxes being well used. You know? If you look at the way we are spending money today in this country, for example, the impeachment of Rigathi gachagua, billions of shillings were spent from government resources on a truly unnecessary exercise. You don't have to spend public resources for such a thing. I have seen meetings being held and people are being given 500 shillings to attend public rallies to be addressed by the president. That is really waste of public resources. It is really unnecessary. And I believe that if an administration focuses on what is important, making sure that our hospitals are working, there are drugs, there are doctors, there are nurses, that is good. If you spend money on fixing roads to make sure that people are able to get where they are going, people are able to get their produce and take it to the market, that is good. If you are able to make sure that the country is secure, you spend money on security, that is good. And that is what we look forward to, spending money on things that are important so that we don't have to overtax the people to embark on projects that are really, really not necessary. That will be our focus, to make sure that we are collecting taxes that are reasonable and those taxes are being applied to programs that have a benefit to the people.
Excellent. Change is good, but we cannot usher change when we have people, the same people with the same mindset, working and rotating in the same government position over and over. Now, in the new administration that you're putting together, how will you address this issue so that we can see new people with new mindset occupying these places so that we can transition towards newness and progressiveness in your government?
I think that is really a decision that the people of Kenya have made. The people of Kenya are having fatigue, on recycling the same old faces. And when I listen, the Gen Z phenomenon is a real game changer in this country. And I can see as we go towards 2027, there is going to be a serious evolution in terms of leadership. I have here in my rural residence met young people who are seeking elective positions, who are very revolutionary, who are looking at things in a different perspective. And I can tell you that our young people are going to determine the next administration. And from what I gather, as I interact with them and I interact with other Kenyans, there is a new beginning in this country where we are going to have a new leadership of young people, focused people, people with a different mindset. And I can tell you, I am very hopeful that we'll have different kind of leaders that are going to come up, and those are the people who are going to make a real change that we need in this country.
Very well. Now we move swiftly to education, and we are going to focus more on higher education. What plan is in place to make higher education affordable? Let's bring one case scenario. A student in engineering has to pay 150,000 Kenya shillings per year. This is exclusive of any other bills, a place to stay, food, clothing, books, and everything else that they may require. Now, 150,000 is not something, it's not an amount of money that a Mama Mboga would actually afford. And now we are questioning whether there are certain faculties that are reserved for the affluent communities in our societies, while not everybody can be able to access them, even when they have the grades. Now, how will you make education, higher education, more affordable for the people in the new administration?
I think we had a good financing model, and the higher education was good, and it was working well. And without applying our mind to the merits and the demerits, this administration decided to do away with it and introduce a new financing model without consulting anybody, without consulting the students, the parents, the lecturers, and the stakeholders in the higher education component. I think what is important is exhaustive consultation among the stakeholders. I am a firm believer that any responsible government must make education affordable. And if you look at our dispensation, we have various bursaries. We have bursaries by the county government, we have bursaries by the CDF, we have bursaries by the Ministry of Education. I am of the view that we need to collapse all these bursaries into one, and we can channel them directly to the people who are needy. And this money is quite sufficient. It's a lot of money. If you look at the money that is sent through the CDF, if you look at the bursaries that the counties are giving, if you look at what the Ministry of Education is giving, since this money is coming from one source, but going through different channels, we need to collapse all these bursaries into one. And then from a central point of view, we will be able to help students from needy families. And I think that can work. As it is today, we have a problem because we changed the old financing model without thinking through the new one, and it's not working. Many university students are at home, they cannot go to college, and we are having a very difficult situation as a country. So because we have a long way to create a new administration, mine is to ask the current administration to find it necessary to listen to the stakeholders, to listen to the students, to listen to the lecturers, to listen to the parents, and agree that we need to look at what was proposed because it isn't working. Either we revert to the old system or we come up with something much better. But we cannot do that just sitting in Nairobi government offices. This has to be done in a consultative manner by engaging the stakeholders. Again, people-centered. You must talk to the people. These students are the beneficiaries. The parents are the ones who are paying for them. Any new financing model without talking to the beneficiaries, without talking to the parents, is an exercise in futility. And it costs the government nothing to engage the people, to listen to them, and to listen to what they have to say. And Kenyans are very innovative. People have solutions to all these problems. All you need to do is to create an opportunity for them to contribute, to make suggestions. And what does it cost the government to listen to the people? Nothing. Let us agree, listen to the students, listen to the lecturers, listen to the parents, and together we can come up with a good financing model for university education.
Thank you very much. That was a question that had been asked by the